Welcome to our annual Middle School Prize Day. It's my pleasure to deliver the Director of the Middle School's speech at this time. Headmaster McHenry, board members, faculty, parents, friends, and boys in the middle school. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome to our Middle School Prize Day for the 2012-2013 school year. Today we're joined by a number of the college's Board of Governors and members of the leadership team. I would like to introduce you to them at this time and thank them for their service to the college. Our Chairman of the Board of Governors and past parent, Mr. Michael Sifton. Member of the Board of Governors and past parent, #1 fan of mine, Mr. Jim McLaughlin. The Headmaster, of course, Mr. Kevin Henry. Assistant Headmaster, Upper School, Student Life, Courtney Shrimpton, Mr. Courtney Shrimpton. Assistant Headmaster, Academics, Mr. Michael Palick. Assistant Headmaster, School Life and Operations, Mr. Greg Reed. Executive Director of Advancements, Mr. Scott Hayter. Director of Information Technology, Mr. Stephen Rush. And Director of Residential Life, Mr. David Delida. Each September, new boys at SAC. And this year was no different as we welcomed 99 new middle school students to the college. On their very first day here, the boys start their SAC career in the Memorial Chapel. It's fitting that the boys and faculty were able to meet in a supportive space on the last day of today's school year. The boys certainly know that I have very high expectations for deportment in the chapel, and they begin to truly appreciate the importance and reverence of this building. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Reverend Roffey, Mr. John Clements, and Andrew Kingside for the substantial contribution offering such a rich chapel experience for our middle school boys. For those 99 new boys and their parents, this is of course your very first prize day. You may not be quite sure why you're here. Yes, there will be prizes for academic excellence. But to me, the most important aspect of Prize Day is to celebrate as a middle school community the many successes and setbacks that come with each school year. Each middle school boy is a very different person than he was just a short 10 months ago. He's been presented with a number of academic, athletic, artistic, leadership, and social challenges that he's had to respond to. To the parents here today, in the majority of the cases, your sons have responded in a way that would make you so proud of them. However, at times they've fallen short of what we expect of an Andrew. But great pride should be expressed to them as they learn from their mistakes and bounce back stronger than ever. To the boys, when I get a chance to say goodbye to you later today, I will not know your math or science mark. I promise you, I will not know your math or science mark. I will congratulate you based upon my observation of your work ethic, your tenacity, and persistency in your everyday activities here. So as this ceremony proceeds, please do take the time to reflect on your personal successes and the shortcomings and take pride in all you've accomplished over the past year. At this time, it's also my pleasure to reflect on the entire middle school community this year. This is a year of much change. As we welcome our first grade 5 class in over half a century, Mrs. D'Angelo, not our first ever. And along with our grade 6s, a core classroom program that was established. This was deemed to be a natural progression for a boy's 8-year career at SAC from grade 5 to grade 12. I want to thank each of the grade 5 to 6 boys for adding much enthusiasm and energy to the hallways of Rogers Hall. I would especially like to thank Mrs. Claudia Rose Donahoe, Mr. Justin Chow, Mrs. Robin O'Hara, and Mr. Whitney Elliott for excellent work in launching this brand new program. Thank you so very, very much. Our grade 7 class was a mix of new and returning students who worked hard to overcome the middle child syndrome this year. Well, the big brother grade 8s are moving on, and the path is clear for you to lead grade 7s in a very positive manner next year. Success of any middle school is very much tied to the role modeling exhibited by the grade 8 class. I hope to hear from the teachers that this year's grade 7 class has taken on this task with utmost responsibility. Before I speak about our grade 8 graduates, I would like to highlight some of the events that speak volumes about the variety and successes of our middle school program and our SAC program. The boys started the year traveling to beyond the gates, and based upon informal student surveys, continues to be a highlight of the year. In fact, when the grade 8 boys come up there today, boys, I'm sure you're going to hear about beyond the gates, beyond the gates, beyond the gates. Our annual cross-country run took place before Thanksgiving and set the middle school clan spirit off to a strong start. The athletics program involved all boys for all 3 seasons with strong sportsmanship and participation. A special note was the CSAA championship for our under-14 soccer team and travel opportunities for under-13 soccer team to Vancouver, British Columbia, and the under-14 basketball to Houston, Texas. Our annual Remembrance Day service, organized by Mrs. Ramon, continues to be a very moving and powerful experience for our boys. The November SAC Middle School Dance captured the hearts of many of our young students. December saw our carol service take place in Toronto, where the entire student body filled the church with wonderful music and much emotion. The Holiday Hero program that was embraced by all students at the college and allowed a large number of York Region families to have a much happier holiday season. McPherson Hockey Tournament brought the entire school together at the Aurora Community Center for a night of cheering and consumption of soft drinks, popcorn, and candy. Our first Lego League Robotics team advanced to provincial champions for the 2nd straight year, and the RoboFest team competed in the World Championships in Michigan. A number of grade 8 students headed off to Montreal for a first part of an exchange program with College St. Anne, and we returned the favor by welcoming the boys back to our school in May. This past February saw the rebirth of a middle school play. Not the first ever, Mr. D'Angelo. Dogs Hamlet took the stage as one of the last events before the renovation of the Ketchum Auditorium. The actors were inspired by the outstanding directorial skills of Mr. William Schooler. Our middle school band competed at the Ontario Band Festival, and the performance earned them a spot to compete in the Music Fest Nationals in May. Success continued Nationals as the band earned a triple gold recognition from all judges. The theme for a number of full school assemblies was pursuing greatness. In addition, middle school assemblies were offered to students on topics of making smart, risk-taking choices and anti-bullying sessions with Toronto Argonauts Huddle Up program. Our cadet program was a wonderful success with annual church parade, headmaster inspections, and cadet inspection, all being presented with much pride and dedication. The Music Night in May offered a chance for every middle school student musician to perform on stage. The MacEwan Leadership class ran a successful Spring Smash event in late May, which again assisted many York Region families in need. And here we are today at Prize Day. I'm going to take a breath right now. That's a lot of good stuff that your boys have done. Congratulations, boys. Of course, all these events happen outside the classroom, which is a testament to the work and pride of the boys that they put back at SAC. Earlier this year, I had the pleasure of being interviewed by Mr. Jim McGilvery for the spring issue of the Andrian, and upon completion, he decided to title the article, "Leaving Smiles as His Legacy." On a side note, this is way too beyond your head, guys. Maybe they also done it. On a side note, I'm not sure how many of you remember the days when McDonald's restaurants used to list on their menu, "Smiles," but the cost showing is free. While McDonald's was prepared to give them away for no cost, I would suggest that a smile is one of the most valuable commodities of the human race. It shows understanding, acceptance, and concern of others. It's the clearest indication that a person is welcome. I've tried to use my smile to reinforce that with every student in the middle school, that he's valued and respected. I truly believe that this is how you motivate students to develop and reach their potential. Of course, everyone needs a bit of help at times to get a smile on their face. I'd like to thank the many middle school boys who have helped put a smile on my face almost every day. These fall into a few categories. Dress code. Of course, many new boys, the challenges of wearing a school uniform can cause much grief or interesting fashion statements. This year I noticed a young man, and I have to apologize to my faculty, I may have heard this story a few times, but it's great. A young man walking down the hallway and saw something on his collar. Upon closer examination, I discovered it was his name. When he turned around, it was clear that the dress shirt was on inside out. It was only when I got home and tried to duplicate the feat of buttoning a shirt in this fashion did I have even more respect for the students' dexterity. Often fashion statements are more subtle, such as the choice of socks the boys wear. Will the socks be black and blue, or brown and white or none? I definitely think Dr. Seuss would have ran a sequel to Kyle's one sock, two sock, red sock, blue sock by observing SAC boys. Lockers. Nicholas, how are you? Nicholas Bone's a great kid. Top marks, good little athlete, hard-working kid, wonderful sense of humor. Cheers for the Cowboys. But Nicholas Locker, good? No, not good. Each year, the Locker clan always brings back fond memories of good times and old food. Some of my favorites are dried up bananas, apples, oranges, and Reagan came as I'm not sure what it was, but Reagan found a round object that we're going to pretend might be a deflated tennis ball. It possibly a piece of kiwi, I'm not sure, but it's quite interesting. Another regular are the multiple pairs of white socks. And I'm convinced this is something like a calendar. If there are 48 pairs of white socks in a locker, it's the 48th day of school. Lost and found. Mr. McHenry has been very kind to me for many years. We go back 11 years to the school. And he's saying, you know, how can we honor you? And I was in Kingston recently, and I found a sign, I took a photograph, it was the Hanson Memorial Underground Parking Lot. So I thought that might be a good option if they have to remove the new build. But really, Mr. McHenry, my legacy is a Lost and Found. I'm very, very proud of Lost and Found. Extremely proud. It's only slightly ahead of the bins cleaned up the dining hall. That's another of my country, St. Andrews. So I'm very proud. I moved the Lost and Found box in the front hall to a beautifully nice cabinet in the conference room, which hosts all kinds of fancy meetings with the smells coming out of the cabinet. And of course, it's always my duty to finish my job, and I work right to the very end of my contract, Mr. McHenry. So, far be it from me to leave a job undone. Joseph Yazdani. Joseph Yazdani. You can't hide now, Joseph. They're looking for Joseph Yazdani. Joseph Yazdani. Brandon Wang. Brandon Wang, please come forward. House captain. Jack, you'll be a good house captain at some point. Why don't you take this right now? Victor Lopez, please. Oh, here's an academic merit tie the boys really, fight hard for, really want to earn, and of course it's now found the Lost and Found. William McHenry. Mr. Brady Reed. Ponce will not leave till those tires are returned. Goal setting makes me smile. I don't know how many faculty were at the prize day in 2003, but this one had to come back. This is my last one, of course. I'm off the stage pretty soon, so I've got to. This is a boy in 2003. The boys have an email account with a signature at the bottom. Sometimes they put down like #1 Dallas Cowboys fan or Alpine ski guy. This young man said, "My goals for life." So here's a boy who was bred in middle school 10 years ago. Here's his legacy. 2008 Olympics, snowboarding gold medal. 2010 Olympics, new event, freestyle skydiving, silver medal. 2011, which has just come up on by the way, joins the struggling St. Louis Rams team as cornerback, averages 4.2 interceptions per game. 2012 to 2017, helps Rams win 6 consecutive Super Bowls. 2018, writes novel, #1 bestseller ever. 2020, begins acting career, wins 3 Best Lead Actor and Best Supporting Actors in the same year. 2021, finishes acting career. 2025, finds new source of renewable energy, wins Nobel Prize. 2026, street named after him in all major cities. 2028, plays Carnegie Hall with little help from music teacher Mr. Richardson. 2030, becomes supreme dictator of Earth and colonizes Saturn. And 2032, wins lottery grand prize of $97 million and donates it all to cancer research. The goal setting for the boys is absolutely fantastic. Okay, this is what I'm looking forward to. Mr. O'Hara said to me, "You're misbehaving, Mr. Anson." Yes, I am. I tried to put an award on for Prize Day a few years ago, and I didn't realize there was a policy to do that. You get to throw a prize on without talking to the official people, but I'm going to do it today. I'm going to start it might not be annual, maybe I'll miss my hand on. This is the first annual, maybe the first ever Hanson Smile Award. Very honorable. I've been to Dollarama today, and I'd like to call upon the first recipients. We actually have 2 adult recipients and 10 students called forward. And I don't actually have a description for the award. Let's see. For somebody who smiles a lot, okay. The first recipient, I'd like you to all stand at the front. We do need a photo of you, by the way, sir. The first recipient, the obvious first place, right, is Mrs. Brenda Burst. Don't move anywhere. The second recipient from the dining hall, this guy makes me laugh so much, smile so much, I don't even know his last name. Kevin from the dining hall. We only have 1 grade 5 class, only 1 grade 5 ball, and obviously Mr. Dorian Jones. Twice as many boys in grade 7, so guess what? Oh, grade 6, Mike. I'm getting a bit old, I can't remember these. Grade 6, we have 2 winners, Spence Furman and Samir Kaki. Spence did have a bit of an advantage. I knew Spence the day he was born, he came out of the womb smiling at things. Grade 7, we have 3 balls in grade 7, 3 classes, and our winners in grade 7, Hunter Appleby, Ewan Fox, and Christopher Porapak. right here. Yeah, 4. And 4 balls in grade 7, grade 8, grade 8, grade 8. My apologies. You should know that very first guy. Member, proud member of Dollhouse, smile from here to here, Mr. Johnny Yu. And then we have Carl Leclerc. Although he didn't smile a lot last night, way too nervous, Sean Lindsay. And just to show you that happy boys, smiling boys, and forgetful boys, Mr. Joseph Yazdani.
Got a smile now, proper smile.
Hold on, Kim, thank you very much. May I take this opportunity to thank the middle school boys, the award winners, and even the boys who didn't win. Past and present, how to put a smile on my face. Please never, never forget the power of a smile. Our Prize Day ceremony also allows us a chance to thank many people who make a difference in our lives. First and foremost, may I please thank the parents of our middle school students. You've entrusted the college with the opportunity to help your son develop the complete man, the well-rounded citizen. Your ongoing support in so many ways is greatly appreciated by SAC and your sons. I'd like to thank the middle school faculty who have been asked to do so much more than classroom teachers. Undertake programs involving athletics, the arts, leadership, and community service, in addition to their academic portfolio. All successes don't start in my office. They start with these people in the middle school classrooms, the soccer fields, the arenas, the music room, the art room, the theater, that sort of stuff. These people work very hard on my behalf, and I want to thank them one last time on behalf of all the parents. Thank you so very much. Our residential program is second to none and is led successfully by a number of caring individuals from McDonald House. In fact, on a side note, a young boy came to me the other day, a day student, and said, Mr. Hansky, could you email my parents? I really want to be in boarding. I really want to be in boarding. And I said, well, I'll try my best, but you're a great kid. I can see why they want to stay at home. But that boy had been in Macos for a week, and in 1 week had found the magic of boarding. Mr. Glad, congratulations on the great job you do in Macos. Macos students are likely some of the most bravest students at the school. I don't think I could at that young age. On their behalf, Mr. Galila, Mr. McPherson, Mr. Tutera, Mr. Wong, Mr. Stiles, for your efforts to turn this home into a safe and enjoyable environment for the boys. Thank you so much. The Residential Life curriculum has been a tremendous addition to an already strong program. I'd like this opportunity again to thank and recognize Mr. McPherson's work. As one of the assistant housemasters in Macos, as a former housemaster myself, I know how much of the time you have given the boys in a variety of activities. Mr. McPherson will continue to teach in the middle school and will take on new roles housemaster of Lavelle House. Best of luck to both Mr. McPherson and Ms. Derwin in a new chapter of life as parents both at home, of course, and in Lavelle House. All the very best. friend of hers to deserve much thanks to someone who obviously smiles a lot, keeps me sane, for all her patience, assist me in the daily running of the middle school. I must also recognize and applaud the support I received from Mr. Henry and the Board of Governors for their ongoing belief and support in the middle school program at SAC. Finally, I need to thank my father, thanks to Mrs. Jeannie D'Angelo. It's been inspiring to watch her excited as you prepare to leave the middle school next year. You've been a supportive and dedicated assistant for the past 6 years, and the middle school has evolved a wonderful part of SAC with initiatives that you've helped develop. The future of the middle school is bright, and I know that you will lead with compassion and strength as you take the program to even greater heights. My departure from SAC has been much easier than you'll be taking over. Congratulations, I wish you the very best in the years to come. My final comment to the grade 8 class. This is your day. For many of you, it's been a 3-year journey you must be proud of. As I mentioned, Mr. Henry, on many occasions, you set a wonderful tone for this middle school. While the Middle School Council has the official leadership responsibility, all of you have done a wonderful job being respectful of each other's most of the time at the younger students in the middle school. I'd like to take this opportunity to publicly thank the grade 8 class for a substantial and positive contribution to life in Rogers Hall. This grade has many wonderful memories to look back on, much to be proud of. You've set a high standard for future grade 8 class to follow, and as players under 14 sports teams, you've been excellent role models as sportsmen. I'm very tempted. I went on Google last night, checked it out. Friday, June the 16th, 2017, is the upper school prize day. 4 years from now, I'm very tempted to come back. I'm very excited to come to that time. Congratulations, boys, on a great year. In conclusion, thank you for letting me share my memories of an outstanding year with you. Please have a safe and enjoyable summer with your families, and best of luck next September. Thank you very, very much. If you clap too long, you can't start your summer holidays. Okay, now you stopped it. Thank you so very, very much. I was touring today. I could tell you lots of stories about 32 years of saying it's really not my day. Mr. Henry's treated me very well at a beautiful function about 10 days ago. I'm coming to a staff appreciation barbecue. I'll tell all those boring stories on Saturday night. We will now proceed to the presentation of prizes and awards. A list of all major prize winners will be available on the St. Andrews College website on Monday. May I call upon Mrs. Claudia Rose Donahoe to present the honors, medals, and prizes for grade 5. Could I ask that the applause be held back to all the boys and recognized? Guys, you've never seen this happen before, I don't think. You're going to come forward, see Mrs. Rose Donahoe, and you'll remain standing at the front. Big smile, please, right? And there'll be photographs taken at the front. The first awards are for boys who've earned both their scholar status, an overall grade average of 80%, and their academic merit award, which is 80% or greater in their learning skills. These boys receive an honors medal, which shows 10 months of outstanding work. The bronze medal goes to the boys, the second top boy in the class, the second place boy receives a silver medal, and the gold medal going to the top boy in the class. Receiving bronze medals in grade 5, Connor Brocart, Christian D'Alessandro, Brendan Dilworth, Dorian Jones, Jack Kemchinsky, Nolan Nickelberger, Bryce Neal, Cole Nip, Aiden Walters, and Chris Yee. And each of these boys receiving 80% or greater, both in their grades and their learning skills. Staying in second place, I'm looking at two little boys here in the front row, brothers. Second place being the silver medal, Matthew Sun. And staying in first place in the grade, and the gold honors medal, Michael Sun. Boys, please remain standing at the front as the subject prize is now awarded. The Arts Prize this year goes to Bryce Neal. The Health and Physical Education Prize to Nolan Mickelberger. The Mathematics Prize, Matthew Sun. Receiving both the Language Arts Prize and the Science Prize, Michael Sun. And receiving the Social Studies Prize and the French Prize, Aiden Walters. Congratulations, boys, on your awards. You may now be seated. May I call upon Mr. Justin Chow to present the honors, medals, and prizes for grade 6. Again, if you can hold applause till the very end. Our first group of boys are boys who received 80% or greater in their grades or their learning skills, not both. Their grades or their learning skills. We'll honor the boys who've done both of that in a second. So the first one receiving bronze medals, Mikey Bain, Andrew Boland, Thomas Childerhose, Patrick Leclerc, Chris Liu, Joseph Walker, and Owen Laffey. And Owen is receiving his merit tie for the first time today. Thank you, boys. You now may be seated. The next awards are boys in grade 6 who have achieved both their scholar status with their marks and their learning skills over 80. Starting with Spence Berman, Aiden, Justin Chung, Sterling Cochran, Jacob Crocker, Andy Hahn, Samir Kaki, Osher Lee, Ryan Lindsay, Colson Link, Arya Mizrahi, Joshua Osborne, Billy Sun, Ryan Sutherland Pace, and Ben Van Eden. in second place in the grade, receiving the silver medal, is Jack Kensit. And staying in first place in grade 6 class and receiving the gold honors medal, Marshall Moore. Boys, may I have you please remain standing at the front while we award the subject prizes. The Enriched French Prize this year, Samir Kaki. The Language Arts Prize presented to Marshall Moore. This year's Science Prize winner, Spence Berman. Receiving both the Health and Physical Education Prize and the Social Studies Prize, Jack Kensit. Recipient of both the Mathematics Prize and the Music Prize, Osher Lee. A recipient of both the Visual Arts Prize and the Core French Prize, Andy Hahn. Okay, I gotta have everything glued up.
Well, I'm stealing the microphone from Mr. Hansen because I have a special announcement to make. A few months ago, I was speaking with leadership team members, and we were talking about how do you recognize somebody that's been at the school for 32 years who has been a teacher, a coach, an advisor, a housemaster, the driving force behind a school within a school, and that is our new middle school. Very difficult to find a way to recognize and really remember all of the amazing work that has been done by this individual. And certainly, I think you know who I'm talking about here. I just threw him off the stage. Mr. Hansen is an extremely, I call him a quiet person who just does not like the limelight. And I've been bothering him and bugging him for a while now, talking about how we're going to have a marching band come in to celebrate his retirement, or have a guy parachuting into the tent. And, you know, I know that he wouldn't like that. And I think this would take him out of his comfort zone, but it's certainly well deserved. And certainly it's a long legacy at this school, 32 years. And he's done it all. I don't think you would find an individual that has been more devoted to his students than Mr. Michael Hansen. So with that, I'm really happy to announce that the former Superstar Award of Grade 6 is now going to be called the Michael Hansen Award. You asked me if it's a Stanley Cup. But, anyway, this year is very much of an honor for this boy to be the first recipient I know, and it goes to Marshall Moore.
Okay, I guess you can have a seat, guys. Sorry. Thank you, boys. Congratulations to the prize winners in grade 6. Thank you very much, Mr. Henry. If I could ask for anything, I don't want to, and you know that's a beautiful gift. Thank you very much. I love teaching grade 6. Sorry, guys. I think as you were in grade 6 once, grade 6 is a wonderful grade to teach. It's so full of energy, and to have my name attached to that grade means a lot to me, so thank you very, very much. Grade 7. My cup is down. I'd like to call upon Mrs. Michelle Derwin to present the medals and prizes for grade 7 students. As your name is called, please come to the front. Line up, starting Mrs. Derwin standing to receive your award. The first awards again in grade 7 are for boys who have achieved 80% or greater, or their learning skills in 80% or greater, one of those two categories. Receiving bronze medals in grade 7, Hashim Balak, Braden Byers, Sebastian Giorgio, Connor Ewine, Riley Jackson, Wells Carabin. Now Pedro, I feel bad. I'm going to try my very best, Pedro. I've always known it's Pedro Rosores. I've got that part down really well. Here we go. Pedro Rosores Sanchez Mayorada. Okay. Todd Tien. And two boys of note coming forward. In the first case, the boy receiving his academic merit tie for the first time, Stephen Dare. And receiving his scholar's pin for the first time, Branson Johnson. Thank you, boys. You may be seated. The next awards for scholar status and academic merit, both categories, bronze medals, Nicholas Vidali, Parker Boland, Austin Fretch, Nathan Chadsey, Ryan Collis, Jack Davies, Joshua Dunn, Ewan Fox, Andrew Hoogers, John Jr. Hopkinson, Dalton Lehman, Christopher Leon, Ruben Lopez Vergara, Will McHenry, James Musenberger, Mark Pomeolis, J.P. Schnabel, Sergeant Sethi, Ricky Tang, Emiliano Ventosa Pacheco, William Wang, and our last three boys receiving either a pin or a tie for the very first time. Leo Lee receiving his tie for the very first time, his academic merit tie. Peter Wu receiving his academic merit tie for the first time. And Chris Poropat receiving his scholar's pin and his merit tie. Quite an accomplishment to pull this off in the very last part of the year for Chris Poropat. Tie and pin, first time. Standing in second place, receiving the Silver Honors Medal in grade 7 class, Jorge Chedwari Aboud. And staying first in the grade in grade 7 with the Gold Honors Medal, Kevin Kwan. Boys, please remain standing in the front as we award the subject prizes. The Core French Prize this year to Emiliano Ventosa. The Health and Physical Education Prize to Will McHenry. The Winnett Prize for English Award for Proficiency in Composition, Grammar, Spelling, and Writing, Dalton Lehman. The next young man has won 3 prizes. He's won the Enriched French Prize, the Geography Prize, and the Mathematics Prize, Jorge Chedraui Abu. And the next young man has won 4 prizes: the Science Prize, the History Prize, the Visual Arts Prize, and the Music Prize, Kevin Kwan. Our final award, grade 7, goes to the Improvement Prize for the student who has made the greatest improvement in his grade average since June 2012. This year's winner, with an improvement of 3.9 percentage points, Braden Byers. Thank you, prize winners for grade 7. You may now return to your seats. May I call upon Mr. John Richardson to help present the grade 8 prizes. Again, students, as your name is called, please come forward to see Mr. Richardson to receive your award. The first group, again, receiving bronze medals for either receiving 80% or greater in their learning skills or their grade average. Gennaro Borrego Simone. Matthew Brenzel. Andrew Curry. Matteo Fina. Reagan Kimmons. Michael Lakatrifis. Arnaldo Lanzman Lizarraga. Guillermo Rumba Gonzalez. Luis Munoz Saad, John Musgrave, Daniel Panzuras, Luis Ramon Zabla, Nicholas Seidel, Tarun Sethi, Michael von Schallberg, and Johnny Yu. Okay, parents are all set. Thank you, boys. You may have a seat. Very good. Our next awards before for the boys received 80% or greater in their grades and learning skills. Receiving their bronze medals: Nicholas Boland, Kyle Chen, Daniel Chung, Mihai Chicharanu, who's unable to join us today, Quentin Cochran, William Deo, Antonio Dodero, Alejandro Elizondo Ordonez, Inigo Elizundia Domit, Philip Brancheroff, Ollie Harris, Gregory Hoogers, Andrew Jeffrey, Daniel Kim, Kevin Kim, who's not able to be with us today, Connor LeClaire, Randy Lee, Sean Lindsay, Justin Lynn. This is a person's arm's not long enough to hold on a minute. Take a picture. We're stopping at L right now. This person actually closed all those mouths in her arms, and I think she's almost there. Okay, we're right here. Okay, back, second period. John Maloney, J.P. Martin, Byron Mawaya, True Morris, Emilio Riestra Rivero, Cooper Scullion Smink, William Shields, Connor Sleep, Tony Sewell, Tyler Thomas, Patrick Turner, Mario Vasquez, Robert Wang, Carter Woodruff, Lucas Zadra, the last three boys are receiving their first time merit tie. Will Sermon, hate to go mushy on you, but I'm extremely proud of the next two boys. They've been at the middle school for 3 years. They've worked really hard. One guy got the most important award of the day, of course, which is a smile ball. Not the Mike Cancer Award, that's not hard. And they've worked hard, and they're getting a merit tie for the very first time. The second thing you're going to hear, the boy said, if you don't get your merit tie, I can't retire. I told my wife this. She said, is he going to do it? I said, I don't know. Be close. So can I offer to come down and help him? He's going to do it himself. So the first young man, who not only is very forgetful, also has a wonderful smile, but I'm pleased to announce that Joseph Yazdian received his merit tie for the first time. Well done, Joseph. And I don't mean jump. The Medhurst family are here, Mr. and Mrs. Medhurst. You epitomize what St. is all about. Deb and Scar, are you here? I don't think Scar. Debbie, are you here? Debbie, thanks for all your support. We've worked together for your son. He's going to get his merit tie. Thanks for being a great parent. And Matthew, congratulations, Matthew Medhurst. And thanks for letting me retire. Staying second in the class. Please catch on after that. No, sorry. Staying second in the class, receiving the Silver Honors Medal, Melvin Maroon. And their young man, first overall gold medal, a really neat kid, who worked so hard to box me this year. EA Sports, Eric Asgari. Thank you, boys. Please remain standing as we have the subject prizes. The geography prize this year goes to Drew Morris. The Core French prize to John Maloney. The Health and Phys Ed prize, just stop for a second. I missed this young man over here. Lucas Zadra. We have two prizes, the History Prize and the Enriched French Prize, Eric Asgari. This year's recipient of the Science Prize, William Deo. The Visual Arts Prize, Daniel Chung. The Grade 8 Mathematics Prize, Randy Lee. And then we have the next three prizes, the Music Prize, the Grade 9 Mathematics Prize, and the Kilger Campbell English Prize, awarded for proficiency in composition, grammar, spelling, and writing, Melvin Maroon. I always love these improvement prizes. The Bruce B. King Memorial Improvement Prize for the student who has made the greatest improvement since his grade average since June 2012. A loyal Andrean, Mr. King was a student at St. Andrews College from 1911 to 1922 with an improvement of 9.9 percentage points, William Shields. Congratulations, prize winners and grade. You may now have your seats. May I call upon the headmaster, Mr. Kevin Henry, to present the headmaster's honor roll. These awards are for grade 7 or 8 students who have achieved 85% or greater in every subject. 85% or greater in every subject for boys in grades 7 and 8. Please come forward, boys, your names called to receive your award from Mr. McHenry. Eric Asgari. Mihai Chicharano, who's not able to be with us today. William Dale. Riley Jackson. Kevin Kwan. Melvin Maroon. Will McHenry. Mark Polmidiotis. And our last young men are receiving their headmaster's honor roll tie for the very first time. Congratulations to Orge Chedrari Aboud. And this next young man, I gotta thank him personally. You know you're old and get ready to retire when you don't know the current stuff. So I never heard this thing called Gangnam Style. I didn't know what the heck it was. So on Halloween, this young boy dressed up and said, that's a wonderful costume. He's dancing so cool. And oh, Mr. Man, that's so old. To Tony Sill, congratulations. Congratulations, Headmaster's Honor Roll 2012-2013. Thank you, boys. May be seated. We will now honor the Middle School Council with Mrs. D'Angelo and the members of this year's Middle School Council. Please come forward. The members of the Middle School Council are selected and chosen by the faculty and their peers to play a leadership role in the middle school. This year we have 8 members of the Middle School Council. Mihai Ciceranu is unable to be with us today. Boys, I'd like to thank you for the role you've played during the past school year. Your cooperation and leadership have been an example to future Middle School Council members. Your please remain at the front while we announce the 8 members of the Middle School Council for 2013-2014. Boys in grade 7, when your name is called, please come forward to receive your Middle School Council crest. The Middle School Council members for 2013-2014 are Austin Brett, Jorge Chedraui Aboud, Ryan Collis, Ewan Fox, Kevin Kwan, Dalton Lehman, Will McHenry, and Sajjan Sethi. Thank you to our present and incoming Middle School Council. You may now be seated, boys. We now move on to our special school prizes, and then, of course, we do have our valedictory, which will be much more fun than my speech. Remember, Phil and Luca. The first prize may call upon Dr. Sue Hayter to assist in the presentation of the Middle School Reading Prize, awarded to a student who has read the greatest number of books in the middle school reading program during the school year. This award is a collaborative initiative between the Towers Library and the middle school academic program to promote and support literacy among our students and to encourage students to become lifelong readers. This year's recipient, Dorian Jones. What'd you get? May I call upon Mr. Reverend Bruce Rafi, to assist with our next presentation. The Bilal Rajan Hands for Help Community Service Award, presented to a grade 8 student who has devoted the most hours to noteworthy community service projects and activity. A very honorable award this year goes to William Shields. May I call upon the Chairman of the Board of Governors, Mr. Michael Sifton, to present our next award. The Chairman's Public Speaking Competition Award, which recognized the winner of our annual middle school public speaking contest held, I believe, in April this year. This year's recipient, Melvin Maroon. Thank you, Michael. May I call upon Mrs. Melissa Ramon, please, to assist with the presentation of the Thomas A. Hawken Trophy for Middle School Clan Competition. This is presented to the middle school clan that has acquired the most plan points amongst its members. This year's winner is, my apologies. The second place goes to Wallace Clan, a bit of drama, guys. Second place to Wallace, engine builds. Third place to Bruce, not Bruce Rocky, Bruce. And our winner this year is obviously either Montrose or Douglas, and this year's winner is Montrose Clan. Captain Quentin Proctor and Matt Concord. Quentin and Matt. Thank you, Mrs. Ramon. May I call upon Mrs. Nair, please, to come forward to present our next award. The Robert W. Mahar Language Arts Award to the student in the middle school whose first language is neither English nor French, but who has made outstanding progress in either of Canada's official languages. This year's recipient, a worthy one for sure, Johnny Yu. Thanks, Mr. McNair. May I call upon Mr. Michael Pallet, please, to assist with our next presentation. The Brian R. Mitchell Award for Proficiency in Junior Debating. Mr. Mitchell was the school's top debater in his graduating class of 1977. Mr. Pallet's very involved in the school debate program. I thought he was the right man to hand this out to Mr. Michael Lakatrips. May I call upon Mr. Jim McLaughlin, member of the Board of Governors, to assist with what I consider some of the top awards, the Colonel Tilston Awards. Boys, I'm not. You probably don't remember in October when I talked to you about this, but I do. I mentioned this is one of the top awards for the best example in your class for your work ethic, your tenacity, effort, and persistency. The Tilston Award to one of the students who, in the opinion of the faculty, set the best example of their class for effort, persistence, and tenacity in their studies and all other school activities. Colonel Frederick A. Tilston merited the Victoria Cross, the highest military honor of the British Commonwealth, for his courage under fire on March the 1st, 1945. This year's recipient, one per grade, and I would ask all four boys to remain standing at the very end. Grade 5, Jack Kempczynski. Grade 6, Owen Laffey. Grade 7, a pretty clear cut decision, Emiliano Ventosa. Emiliano, I believe you've inspired me to take the lasso when I retire. That'll be one of my activities when I have free time. Thank you very much for your choice how to do that. And our grade 8 winner, True Morris. May I call upon the headmaster, Mr. Kevin McHenry, to assist with our last major school award. I think Mr. Ingles is sitting right here behind me, so I'm not sure I'm going to get this right, but I do believe the McDonald Medal is the top award for our grade 12 boys, deportment, character, the whole package. And the Lowndes Award is going to a grade 8 boy who epitomizes all these activities. The Roy H.M. Lowndes Prize to a student in grade 8 who best excels in studies, games, deportment, and character. Mr. Lowndes was a student at St. Andrews College from 1906 to 1912 when the school was in Toronto as a dedicated member of the Andrew community. This year's winner of the Lowndes Prize, Luca Zadra. Okay, no pressure, Luca. I'm going to call upon you in a couple of seconds. I would like to introduce, this is actually the highlight of the day. First thing, I can sit down. I think it's standing here since 1 o'clock. But I'm very excited to introduce the first time ever, Mr. D'Angelo, maybe the last, who knows? I'll come and check on you. The first time ever, we have a middle school valedictory delivered by 2 boys, with like Carson McMahon and that kind of thing. So I call upon Philip Grancheroff and Lucas Zadra to deliver the valedictory for the grade class.
Thank you, Mr. Hansen.
We would like to welcome all parents, faculty, and fellow classmates to the St. Andrews College 114th Annual Prize Day.
My name is Lucas Zadra, and I've been at St. Andrews College for 3 years.
My name is Philip Grancheroff, and I've been at SAC for 3 years as well. It's been another great year filled with excitement, lots of ups and downs, but mostly ups.
As we move on to the upper school next year, we cannot say how much as a class we have learned from the middle school experience and cannot wait for what upper school has in store for us.
The year started out with our annual Beyond Today's trip to Algonquin Park. This is a new experience for many of us as we tried different activities such as canoeing and portaging.
It was especially difficult for the Mexican boys as they quickly realized that wearing George Armani and Hugo Boss polos on a camping trip wasn't the best idea.
We were lucky that the weather was warm and sunny almost every day, which made the trip that much more enjoyable.
Our only complaint with the trip was that with 1 bucket of food for an overnight trip and with 10 boys doesn't get the job done, especially if you're in a group of Daniel Kim, Reagan Kimmons, and Mr. Eby. Let's just say you're not getting the last burger, my friend.
Although the middle school sports team celebrated wins and suffered losses. Okay, mostly losses. But you know what they say, sportsmanship, right?
One bright highlight was the CISA championship for the U14A soccer team. Of course, the first thing that the team did was come and rub in our faces, knowing that me and Philip's volleyball team had gone 0-6.
It was too bad we couldn't hear them chirping because we had our 4 volleyball CISA championship medals from the past 2 years blocking our ears. Let's talk about the dances. During the winter term of the school year is when most of the dances happen. Now, St. Andrews College dances are not the same as other dances, and this is not a result of the high ratio of boys to girls, but something else that no other school has. Los Mexicanos.
Picture this. You're going to the dance, and you get on the bus in formal but not too formal attire. Everyone thinks that everyone's looking good, until they arrive. All of a sudden, salsa music is playing in the background, and they enter the bus. As they strut on board, a strong smell of cologne, which numbs the mind, takes over the stale aroma of the cheese wagon bus. Decked out in full blazers, dress pants, dress shoes made of the finest Italian leather, and a dress shirt with only 3 of 9 buttons being used. The Mexicans have arrived.
You turn to your friend and look at each other. One of you in a tank top with knee socks, and the other wearing a designer polo, which would have been sold in a mountain equipment co-op if you were in Mexico.
You and your friends say to each other, well, maybe Canadian girls are different.
But when you leave the dance, you realize they're not.
At the start of the spring term, separating returning boys from the new boys was easy. All the new boys came to school smiling, and all the old boys knew what time it was. It was cadet season.
On a happier note, everybody was excited for the warmer weather that was approaching. Too bad that never happened. The entire months of March and April consisted of 3 consecutive days of beautiful weather, followed by a plunge of 10 degrees for a week.
Despite the unfulfilling temperatures, April was full of fun cadets. The cadet program is a wonderful experience for all students. So wonderful that me and Philip decided to take on piping. We felt really bad about stealing all the fun from all the other kids. So we made more fun for the other kids. Guys, you're welcome.
Once cadet season came to a close, the grade 8s worked diligently on preparing for a first set of official exams.
We got a scare as it came to our attention that Mr. Eby's science exam was rejected as it was too difficult. We know as a Crescent alumni, Mr. Eby would have had some tough experiences against SAC.
Probably lost every game.
But we didn't believe he would go as low as bringing it to his teaching career.
We were fearful enough about that exam, but then Mr. Kyle happily stated his exam was 25 plus pages long. It seems a UCC grad, Mr. Kyle, has never forgotten the rivalry that continues today between SAC and UCC.
We know, tough exams will make us more resilient to prepare for the upper school. Speaking of teachers, let's get to the good stuff.
Several years ago, I had the pleasure of watching the movie The School of Rock. This is a great movie as it taught me many life lessons, but there's one in particular that I never quite agreed with. This lesson was, those who can't teach, teach Jim. Like I said, I never agreed with this message, as I've had many great teachers, especially at SAC, who can teach physical education as well as more complicated subjects. I believed this until, of course, I met Mr. McPherson. He was one of the best physical education teachers I've ever had. J-Mac, you're the best. Never change.
Just so you're aware, Mr. McPherson approved the joke. Now, over the years, teachers have repeated themselves many times. Some of the repeated statements have become signature remarks, and you teachers today, and you parents today, have the privilege of learning these right now. First off with Miss Derwin. Gentlemen, and this could apply to gentlemen, we're going to have a pizza party today, or gentlemen, there's a 10-page essay due next class. The same word, but the expression never changes. Next is Miss D'Angelo with Nick Seidel, followed by Miss McNair with Nick Seidel, followed by Miss Ramon's casual gents, and Mr. Eby's famous line of I don't appreciate the sarcasm, and you just got Eby. And finally, the most recognizable quote in the middle school, Mr. Hansen with fellas.
On a more serious note, we've been lucky to have been surrounded by great teachers who have helped us and guided us throughout the middle school journey every step of the way.
To each of you, thanks a bunch. We would like to make a special mention to a man that really made St. Andrews College that more special for the last 32 years.
Mr. Hansen once said, fellas, I have the best job in the world. If you're not teaching middle school, you're missing all the fun in life.
Mr. Hansen is a very special person. When he is around us, he acts like one of us. Yes, like a 13-year-old boy, but sometimes we have to remember that he is 36 years old. One of the best memories I ever had of Mr. Hansen was the day that he was late for advisory. Most of the students in our class had decided to leave because they thought he wasn't coming. But for me and 3 other boys who decided to stay, we knew that something special was going to happen. When Mr. Hansen arrived, he quickly rushed us into the classroom and closed the door. He then recorded who was there. One of us then shouted out, "Hey, Mr. Hansen, can we have donuts because we stayed?" He quickly replied, "No," in a way that meant, just because you stayed doesn't mean you get donuts. But that's when we were surprised, because the next thing he said was, "Because you guys stayed, we'll be going to McDonald's on Tuesday for lunch." For some, amazement. For me, true Hansen style.
I, on the other hand, am not the fast food type of guy. It didn't take Mr. Hansen a long time to realize that I wasn't going to succumb to his fast food cravings. Nope, not me. So from day one, his goal was to try to persuade me to eat something other than Subway on a return home from sports games. Now, you have to recognize that Mr. Hansen had a lot of opportunities to do this, as he was my coach for 2 terms this year. I vividly recall when we were on our way back from Baby Glen School. Mr. Hansen said that he would pay the full cost of my meal only if I ate KFC. I knew my answer right away, but to give him the feeling of hope, I said I would consider the choice only after I was able to examine the nutritional information of KFC. Mr. Hansen realized that this was his best shot yet, and he hoped I would accept the offer. Unfortunately for him, I returned a little later, declining his offer. His efforts have failed once again.
Nice try, Mr. Hansen. All jokes aside, Mr. Hansen has done many great things for the middle school. Ms. D'Angelo will have a hard road next year in fulfilling Mr. Hansen's position as middle school director.
On behalf of the middle school students, we would like to wish you good luck as you enter a new chapter in your life.
As everyone in the middle school knows, Mr. Hansen is everywhere, and it's very hard to plan anything without him being present.
Over the last week, Mr. D'Angelo has worked very hard to prepare the entire middle school and faculty to take a photo in front of the chapel, which we know is Mr. Hansen's favorite place at St. Andrews College.
This photo has now been framed and signed by every faculty and student in the middle school. We would like to present this gift to you, Mr. Hansen, as a token of our appreciation for your hard work over the years to the college. We ask that our guests please stand and recognize Mr. Hansen for his work at the college.
As we close the 2012-2013 academic school year, Luke and I would like to thank the entire faculty, our fellow classmates, and Mr. Hansen for all their support. We would like to extend our appreciation to the middle school teachers for working tirelessly every day before, during, and after school.
The teachers at SAC become a new family member when you enroll and begin your journey. And this is yet another example of why SAC is not an ordinary place. Most importantly, we would like to thank all of our parents who every morning sacrifice their time to make sure we arrive to school prepared and on time.
The reason why they send us to this amazing school is because they know it is the best, and from what I hear, parents only want the best for their children.
I would like to ask all the students to please stand and thank their parents. The prefects selected Pursue Greatness as their motto for the year.
This is exactly what SAC has led us to do. The school has taught us to lead by example, to go above and beyond the call of duty, and to ensure that when we depart this great school, we're prepared to live in a world which presents us with so many great opportunities to pursue greatness.
We would like to thank everyone for attending the ceremony today, and we hope that you all have a great summer, which is safe and well with your family and friends. In closing, we would like to leave you all with a quote that was noted by a former teacher, Anne Perrier. Quote, "It's not about what you do when people are looking that makes you a great leader.
It's what you do when no one is watching that truly defines the type of boy you are."
So for all the grade 5, 6, and 7 students, as you move forward, excel in your studies, play hard in your sports, and enjoy your games.
Remember, the learning skills that you practice every day will surely guide you to becoming a complete man and a well-rounded citizen.
On behalf of the entire middle school, I'm Lucas Zadra.
And I'm Phyllis Grandtraub.
Stay classy, SAC.
Ted Staunton last year, we first had our first middle school prize, I think in 2001, 12 years ago. I said, we're going to have a valedictory, please, I need to speak first. Don't dare let me speak after the boys. So I'm so pleased that I get a chance to speak first. I don't have to follow that act. Boys, thank you very much. Phil, I tried my very best. Although, and be careful, Phil, you always got to be sure who's got the microphone last. Because, with good evidence I've got, that you went over to Lucas Zadra's house for a party one night. It's quite, we have photograph of you eating lots of pizza and root beer and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. I know you can't see that photograph, but the chapel is an incredibly important part of the SAC experience. Bruce is a dear friend of mine. John's a dear friend. Andrew Keeney, I mentioned in my speech, a boy in grade 12. And I'm coming tomorrow, prize day. Probably because I have to, at the party I want to see Andrew Keeney graduate. He's a key boy in the middle school. I believed it from day one. It would have been easy to quit on him. It would have been easy to quit on some of you guys. But you're in a family, you don't quit on a family. And so that chapel is really important. And those three people, Bruce, Andrew, and John, do a great job over there. I got married in that chapel. My wife who wants me to get home and retire with her at a very special place for us. So to have a photo of the chapel with all these great kids around, that's a magnificent gift. Thank you very, very, very much. And no matter what my wife says about interior decorating, that will find some wall space. Thank you for your patience, by the way. I don't know how long my tour is going to end, but I don't really want it to end ever, but I know it has to. And so thank you for your patience if I dragged it a bit longer. At this point, we'd like to proceed with the presentation of graduation certificates. This is a chance for every grade 8 boy to step forward, as they should today. At this time, Mrs. Sabrina D'Angelo and Mr. David Cowell introduce our grade 8 graduates. The comments that you're going to hear have been written by the boys themselves as a summary of their middle school experience. They have been edited. They're really spelled very well now and that kind of thing. The grammar's great. Boys, when you come forward, please walk all the way across. I'm going to start with Basil. So Basil, right across to the far side in a second. You're going to be welcome to congratulate myself and welcome to the upper school by Mr. Shrimpton. Okay, Mr. D'Angelo and Mr. Kyle.
Basil Arslan. Basil just completed his first year at St. Andrews. Beyond the Gates was one of the most fun events of his year because it helped him bond quickly with the friends that he has today. Throughout the year, the teachers have taught him dozens of things that have brought him to this point. St. Andrews' beautiful campus has left him with plenty of unforgettable memories. Eric Asgari. This is Eric's third, final, and best year in the middle school. He hopes to have the same academic standing in upper school that he has now. Eric greatly enjoyed the cross-country team and participating in the outreach and ITI committees, and most of all, the robotics program, where the team recently competed in an international tournament in Michigan. His best memories are Music Fest night with friends, his robotic competitions, and Beyond the Gates. He will especially miss the non-returning boarders, but is still greatly looking forward to new challenges and opportunities in upper school. He wants to say thank you to all his middle school teachers, and especially to Mr. Hansen, who led the robotics program. He also wants to thank his parents and friends for their constant support. Gennaro Borrego Simon. In his first year at St. Andrews College, Gennaro has had a great time. He has made new lifetime-lasting friends and had once-in-a-lifetime experiences. He won CISA championship in soccer. He was part of the school's Nordic ski team, member of the marksmanship team, and a part of the biathlon and under-16 tennis teams. He would like to thank his parents for making the decision, for allowing him to come to St. Andrews, and his family for supporting his decision. He would also like to thank Mr. McPherson, his advisor, for helping and leading him to become one step closer every time to becoming the ideal Andrean brother. Nicholas Boland. Nicholas Boland, aka Boland, has been at St. Andrews College for 3 years. In that time, he was on the soccer, basketball, track and field, cross country, and the softball teams. He participated in the debating and the drumming Tuesday arts. Some unforgettable moments were all 3 Beyond the Gates trips, the Winnipeg and Houston basketball tournaments, Hanson shenanigans, and many more moments. He liked staying after school with his friends. I'd like to thank his parents. He'd like to thank his parents for sending him to this school, his brother Alex for telling him what to expect in grade 8, and many friends for going through the middle school with him. He liked talking about football and basketball with Callum, Connor Woodruff, Cooper, JP, Daniel Kim, Patrick, and more. One more thing he would like to say is no matter how much Daniel disagrees, LeBron James is the worst player in the NBA. Matthew Brenzel. Matthew has had a great journey at St. Andrews in the middle school. He played soccer and was on the alpine skiing and lacrosse teams. He would like to thank his parents for sending him to SAC and supporting him. He would also like to thank his teachers for teaching him. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Dr. Seuss. Juan Antonio Carencido Contreras. Juan Antonio is a boarding student at the McDonald House. He had a great time at SAC with his new friends from Mexico and all over the world. He enjoyed playing all sports, even though they involved getting late to bed and getting a demerit after playing soccer with his friends. He was involved in the debating club and the Tuesday Arts program. He played for the soccer, alpine, and tennis teams. He is very happy to be back in Flavel House next year. Thank you. Jeffrey Chen. Jeffrey Chen has been at St. Andrews College for 2 years. He is a Chinese-born Canadian who has been on the under-14 badminton team for both years. His favorite time at SAC was at Wonderland in grade 7 when he got a free bag of popcorn because people in line for a ride were not allowed to bring food with them, and so they handed it over to Jeffrey. Special moment. His favorite subject is language arts, and he likes eating pineapples. Kyle Chen. Kyle has attended St. Andrews College for 2 years. His favorite memories are when he competed at the Music Fest Nationals, both in his grade 7 and 8 years. He has played on the volleyball and badminton teams this year, which were both great experiences. In badminton, he was undefeated this whole season. He would like to thank his parents for sending him here and his teachers for being so great every year and for teaching him how to succeed in the future. Daniel Chen. As a new boy, Daniel is going to miss the middle school, but looks forward and upward to being in the upper school, where he'll hopefully spend less time looking upward to see his peers. He's learned to love the school, especially the sports and the co-curriculars. He achieved scholars in academic merit in only his second term and participated in beginner piping, the cadet corps, under-14 hockey, soccer, and lacrosse teams. He will never forget the middle school and Beyond the Gates. Daniel would like to thank all the teachers and everyone else at St. Andrews who makes this possible, especially his parents, for giving him this opportunity to come to such a great school. Mihai Ciceranu, who is not here today, but I will continue to read his piece. Mihai is very sad to leave middle school, but excited to join the upper school next year. He currently holds a 90% average and received headmasters all 3 terms, scholars, and academic merit. Mihai has participated in many sports in his 3 years, such as under 12 and under 13A soccer, under 14 cross country, swimming, rugby, and tennis teams. He was a member of middle school council and was an anti-bully liaison, clan captain, PA announcer, and Mac House council. This is Mihai's 3rd year of McDonald House boarding. He would like to thank his parents for the opportunity to come to the school and his teachers for preparing him for the upper school. Quinton Cochran. Quinton is very sad to be leaving grade 8. He enjoyed his years as a middle school student and will for sure miss it. During the year, Quinton has played on the cross country, alpine skiing, and track and field teams. He also led the middle school newspaper club as chief editor and webmaster. He was the captain of the Montrose plant and has made some very strong relationships throughout his years in the middle school. Quinton will never forget his times with his closest Mexican friends and is looking forward to meeting new people and making more friends throughout his St. Andrews life. Finally, Quinton would like to thank his family, friends, and teachers for making this a year that he will truly never forget.
Dylan Cowell. Dylan has attended this school for 3 years. He's made a lot of new and great friends and really liked being the captain of the U14 lacrosse team. Dylan has also been on the outreach committee and had a lot of fun making cotton candy and serving coffee in the parking lot to the parents. Dylan would like to thank all of his teachers, his advisor, Mrs. Smith, Mr. Kwalchuk for running the outreach committee, and his parents for sending him to the school. Andrew Curry. Andrew is a great athlete and has participated in the sport every term this year. He also was an avid debater and made lots of great friends in the program. He also likes to read a lot of books. His most memorable moment of middle school was when he went to Beyond the Gates with his friends and canoed out to the campsite where we set up the tents and carried the supplies. We'd like to say thank you to his parents for sending him to SAC and to his advisors for supporting and helping him. The thing he is most looking forward to in upper school is the variety of sports. William Dale. William has been at SAC for 2 years. In both grades, he has been on the headmaster's honor roll for all terms. Some of William's fondest memories have come from Beyond the Gates, in Wanakita, and in Algonquin Park. Earlier this year, William was fortunate enough to take part in the French exchange with Collège Sainte-Anne in Montreal. William is a competitive swimmer, both with SAC and also outside of the school. This year, he was the MVP of our U14 swimming team, winning 4 CISA medals, including gold. He enjoys playing the trumpet and is a member of Honor Jazz and the triple gold-winning middle school band. He's also a very active member of the outreach committee. He had the honor of reading at the carol service last year. Overall, William has had a wonderful and rewarding 2 years in the middle school and would like to thank all of his teachers. He is looking forward to a great summer. Michael Devlin. Michael is very happy when he heard that he was going to St. Andrews College. Michael played 3 sports this year. He participated with the cross country, the under 14 hockey, and the spring track and field teams. Michael had a good time at Beyond the Gates. It was a lot of fun going up what seemed like a mountain to see Algonquin Park. The canoe trip was also really cool, even if it was hard work. Michael's advisor, Mr. Eby, was a really good advisor for boys that were new to the school, because he was new himself. Mr. Eby was fun and hard at the same time, and all of us learned a lot from him. This was the best school Michael has ever gone to, from sports to academics, and he really enjoyed the year. Looking forward to coming back next year. Antonio Dodera Urquiza. This was Antonio's first and last year at SAC. He really enjoyed the year. Antonio is a boarder at Mac House, and he lives in room 210 with his friend Alejandro Elizondo. He really enjoyed living in a house with all of his friends. On the long weekends, he had a good time with all the other international boarders. One of his favorite things at SAC are the athletics. He played all his favorite sports, but also tried new sports like squash. Antonio set a goal of winning the Scholars Pin and the Merit Tie, and he accomplished both by the winter term. As a boarder, he went to all the weekend programs and was one of his favorite things at SAC. Without any doubt, this was a year that he'll never forget. Stathy Duramakos. Stathy's been at St. Andrews for 3 years. He wanted to attend SAC since he was in grade 4. He even wanted to leave his old school, but he was not old enough. Then the time came when he was in grade 6 and he could attend, and he was lucky to find his 2 oldest friends, Michael and Callum, in the same class, and they had lots of fun together. Stathy thinks that there are 5 people that really helped him during his time in middle school. His parents and sister, Mr. Hansen, Mrs. D'Angelo, who acted not just as a teacher, but also as a friend and mentor, and they all acted as role models. Stathy thanks them all for their hard work and wishes Mr. Hansen a good time now that he has moved on from teaching. His favorite time in the middle school was on the grade 6 Beyond the Gates trip, because this is when he felt the most accepted. Alejandro Elizondo Ordonez. This was Alejandro's first year at St. Andrews College. He really enjoyed it. The thing that he liked the most was when he and his team won the U14 CISA Soccer Championship. He really enjoyed life in Mac House and would like to thank the housemasters. Also, he'd like to thank his advisor, Mrs. McNair, for helping him throughout the year. Finally, he would like to thank his parents for giving him this great opportunity. Inigo Elizundia Domez. Inigo had really good times with his friends here at St. Andrews. He tried a lot of new things such as rugby, Nordic skiing, playing the flute, and had a lot of fun in the process. Inigo was a boarding student at Mac House, where he really enjoyed meeting new people from different places all over the world. Inigo had a great year here, and he'd like to thank all of his teachers and peers for making that happen. Liam Ennis. Liam enjoyed his time in the middle school and feels there is one word to describe it: amazing. His favorite memories were the 2012 Carol Service, Homecoming, and McPherson Hockey Tournament. Liam also had a few bad memories, which did not, thankfully, outweigh the good ones. Liam's classes were all very fun and enjoyable, and he had some great teachers. We'd like to thank his parents who sent him to such a great school. We'd also like to thank his teachers for having a lot of personality in his classes. His friends were always supportive and positive and great role models. Most of all, Liam would like to thank St. Andrews College and its amazing faculty. He's looking forward to the years ahead in the upper school. Matteo Fina. Matteo's been at St. Andrews for 2 years now, and they were some of the best years of his life. From the beginning of grade 7, he knew that this school was no ordinary place. He remembers when he tried squash for the first time in gym class. He remembers when he heard that you get laptops and you never use a notebook. All these things were so amazing to him. It was like every day he went to school was a dream. Now Matteo will be going into upper school, and he's quite nervous, but at the same time very excited to see what else St. Andrews has to offer. He would like to thank his parents for convincing him to come to the school and supporting him when times were hard.
Philip Branchroth. Philip had a great 3rd year at St. Andrews. He enjoyed the company of all his fellow classmates and teachers. He excelled in subjects such as geography and comprehensive arts. He took on the middle school council, and he couldn't have enjoyed developing his leadership skills more. His favorite memory of the school year was traveling to Houston with Mr. Hansen, Mr. Chow, and his basketball team. He looks forward to starting a new stage in his St. Andrews career in the upper school. He would like to thank his parents, his advisor, Mr. Kyle, and his friends for all they have done to make him enjoy being at St. Andrews College as much as he could. Connor Harris. Connor's first year at St. Andrews has been very rewarding and successful. He knows with hard work comes great things, as he soon found out during his Tuesday Arts program. He knew he wanted to pipe, but music had always come easy to Connor until he realized in order to actually earn his bagpipes, he would have to practice. Now, practice was not one of the best things Connor knows how to do. After persevering, he did finally get his bagpipes, but it took a lot of hard work and dedication. Connor would like to thank his friends for making this a great year, and he's looking forward to grade 9. He would also like to thank all of his teachers, but a special thank you to Mr. Kyle for making English so much fun. Connor would also like to thank his parents for finally letting him join SAC with his brothers, Spencer and Parker. He is glad he got to be at SAC for at least 1 year with both of his brothers. Ollie Harris. Ollie Harris just finished his 2nd year at St. Andrews College. Ollie has been on a sport team every term here. He played under 13 soccer and basketball, and 2 years of under 14 lacrosse. This year, he also enjoyed under 14 volleyball and squash. The trip to Winnipeg in grade 7 for the basketball team was an awesome experience. He is a part of the Wallace clan. During Tuesday Arts, he has always drummed. When he is in upper school, he hopes to be on the pipes and drums. His school in the middle school experience was being elected to the middle school council. It has helped his leadership skills and has enjoyed the council overall. He is going to miss the middle school, but he is also excited to move on to the upper school and experience new things. He would like to thank his teachers, friends, and everyone who helped him through this amazing experience. Gregory Hoogers. Gregory Hoogers has been at SAC for 3 years, arriving in grade 6. During this time, he has been on the under-14 hockey, swimming, cross-country, rugby, softball, and track and field teams. He received MIP for hockey. He enjoyed the Beyond the Gates trip at the beginning of each year. He has always had an overall average of 86% or above, and always has earned an academic merit. He has also completed all of the 15 hours of community service. He would like to thank his parents for giving him this opportunity and experience of going to St. Andrews, and for all of their support and encouragement throughout the years. Mac Houghton. Mac has had a great time at St. Andrews. He participated in soccer, hockey, and softball. He would like to thank his grandparents, his mom and dad for their great support through the middle school years. Andrew Jeffrey. Andrew is just finishing his first year at St. Andrews. He has really enjoyed the academics and sports that this school has had to offer. He played on the soccer and lacrosse teams and maintains an academic average of 84%. He was a member of the newspaper co-curricular every term. In the beginning of the year, he enjoyed Beyond the Gates, especially the one-night camping trip, where he enjoyed canoeing with his friends. He laughed a lot at the second city trip. He learned many things this year in his classes and would like to blame that on his teachers for their hard work and care marking. He would also like to thank his parents for helping him study for all his tests and quizzes, and thank his friends and advisor, Mr. Hansen, for answering all of his many questions about the school. Overall, he has really enjoyed his first year at St. Andrews College. Daniel Kim. Daniel Kim thoroughly enjoys being part of the Andrean Brotherhood. He states that the best decision he has ever made was to come to St. Andrews. Daniel has been here for 2 years, where he has been a member of the volleyball, basketball, and rugby teams. Although this year he did not win a single game in all 3 sports, he very much enjoyed the basketball trips to Winnipeg and Houston. He wants to thank Coach Hansen for those amazing seasons. He had a great time being one of Mr. Eby's, aka Clark Kent's, advisees this year. Daniel looks forward to his continued involvement in the Andrean Brotherhood. He is excited about moving into the upper school. He would like to end the year by saying, no matter how many times Nicholas Boland denies it, LeBron James is the best player in the NBA. Kevin Kim. Kevin has attended St. Andrews College for 1 year. His favorite time in middle school was spent with his friends in Mac House. His favorite sport was swimming because it was his first time competing and learning new skills he can use for life. Kevin would like to thank all his teachers and coaches for his successful year at school. He won't forget his time at St. Andrews College. Reagan Kimmins. This is Reagan Kimmins' first year at St. Andrews College. His 3-term sport activities were cross-country running, hockey, and triathlon. His favorite memory was participating in the Beyond the Gates field trip with his graduating class. This allowed Reagan the opportunity to properly climatize and socialize to the school atmosphere, given that he was new. Under 14 hockey bus rides will forever be cherished for the laughter and fun that was experienced. Reagan would like to acknowledge 2 very special people that have made his time at SAC possible: his mom and dad, who continually supported him with his athletics and academics. It is Reagan's greatest wish to continue to prosper with his Andrean Brotherhood. He hopes to make lifelong friends here at St. Andrews with his class of 2017. Michael Lakatrippis. Michael Lakatrippis has been at St. Andrews College for 3 years. When he first arrived, he was extremely excited, but also really nervous. He met new and old friends. He wants to thank them for making SAC an even better experience for him. He also wants to thank his mom and dad for working so hard to send him to this school, and to thank all his advisors, teachers, and coaches. His favorite times at SAC have been Hanson shenanigans in grade 6, going to lots of clubs, playing in House League, otherwise known as Triple Z, going to Wonderland for the grade 7 trip, and hanging out with friends after school. Michael doesn't enjoy yoga, but he enjoys getting caught in the rain and pina coladas. Interesting. Michael would like to thank his parents one more time mine for working hard to send him to St. Andrews College. Thank you.
Arnaldo Lanzarin Zaraga. Arnaldo had a great experience in his only year at St. Andrews. His sports went really well, especially the U14A soccer team's championship title. After promising his grandpa he'd play baseball, he joined our U14 softball and found it to be a very good sport. Academically, his average was not too high and not too low. His memorable moments were beyond the gates, especially the crazy last night. Blue Mountain skiing was a great experience for him. He says he had a great time here. It was one of the best years of his life. Connor Leclerc. Connor came to St. Andrews in grade 6 and has loved every moment of it. He enjoyed all the new facilities and programs at St. Andrews, achieving triple gold at nationals for band in grade 7 and the trip to Great Wolf Lodge in grade 8. His favorite sport would be squash, which he enjoyed because he continued improving over time by practicing with the team, friends, and family. We would like to thank his parents for sending him here and for all the support that they and his brother have offered him. Thanks, guys. Randy Lee. This is Randy's first year at St. Andrews. His most memorable moment was traveling with his peers to Beyond the Gates at the beginning of the year, where we got to spend time with his newly acquired peers. We'd like to thank his parents for making so many sacrifices and his teachers for putting up with them. Finally, Randy is looking forward to another great year in the upper school. Chad Lee. Chad will never forget middle school. He enjoyed making the volleyball team and doing well on the swimming and badminton teams. He loved visual arts on Tuesdays and earned a Green Star in Thursday Cadets. Chad enjoyed boarding life because it was fun, and he made many new friends in Mac House. He'll never forget each single moment. As this was his first year in Canada, his English was not very good, but he believes that his speaking will be better in the future, and he's looking forward to having a good average. He also looks forward to good friendships with many older schoolmates. Chad loves his parents and teachers so much. He would like to thank everybody who helped him this year. Karim Libien Abouzed. Karim had a great year at St. Andrews. He was part of the B soccer and rugby teams. He lived at Mac House, and he would like to thank his parents for giving him this opportunity, and all of his teachers and friends for giving him the experience to learn more. Sean Lindsay. Sean has just finished his third and final year in the middle school. He's made many friends from all over the world, from Korea, Mexico, Bermuda to China. He's made great progress in his learning capabilities and his ability to stay organized through the Learning Skills program. His fondest memory would have to be either getting into the senior pipe band this year or back in grade 6 at Hanson's Shenanigans. He was honored to be in Mr. Hanson's final advisory group. He was also part of the anti-bullying committee and was a middle school PA announcer on Mondays. He's enjoyed this school year, but is very enthusiastic about the upcoming summer. He hopes to go to his camp at Manitoulin Island and relax for a while. He will be returning for upper school. Victor Lopez Valdez. This was Victor's first year at St. Andrews. He was involved in many after-school activities such as soccer, squash, and track and field. We would like to thank his parents for being so supportive and for sending him here. We'd also like to thank his advisor, Ms. McNair, because she helped him during the rough times. Finally, he would like to thank his housemaster because he was strict and guided him onto the right path. He will never forget this year. Justin Lin. Justin is a second-year student at St. Andrews. Throughout the year, Justin participated in wonderful opportunities such as the French exchange trip and robotics. He hopes to do advanced robotics in the upper school. He would like to thank his parents for sacrificing so much so that he can go to this great school. He's already looking forward to seeing his friends in the upper school next year. Jonathan Maloney. This was John's first year at St. Andrews College. We would first like to start by thanking his parents for giving him this incredible opportunity. John's played many sports throughout the year and has also had many leadership opportunities. You can't pick out just one thing that was his favorite part of St. Andrews College, but there were so many. He is very excited about returning to the upper school next year. Melvin Maroon. This is Melvin's second year at St. Andrews, and he's proud of what he's achieved so far. He enjoyed Music Fest with his friends, as well as participating and winning the public speaking contest. His favorite sport was swimming, because he pushed himself to the maximum, and his coaches were more than helpful during meets. He thanks everyone for their exceptional help, especially his parents for giving him the opportunity of being at the school. JP Martin. JP has been at St. Andrews for 3 years and enjoyed every second of it. He's been on many sports teams and has had many leadership opportunities, including U12 and U13 soccer, U12 and U14 basketball, track and field, cross country, U14 hockey, U14 tennis, acting as a green team member, an IT moderator, and a student ambassador. JP would like to thank his parents for supporting him, all of the great teachers and the great friends he's made at St. Andrews. JP's favorite time at St. Andrews College would be the cadet program every Thursday. Byron Moaye. This was Byron's first year at St. Andrews. It was a year that he couldn't possibly forget. He'd like to thank Mr. Kyle for helping him a lot with his English, especially as he transitioned from French to English. He'd also like to thank his coaches and especially his mother for giving him the opportunity to attend this school. Byron is really looking forward to the upper school next year. Matthew Medhurst. Matthew has been a student at St. Andrews since grade 6. He was part of the middle school and junior cadet bands and was very proud of helping earn the highest rank that a band could achieve at the Music Fest Nationals in Ottawa last year, and also at U of T this year. And that is triple gold. Matthew played for the U12, U13, and U14 soccer teams, U12 basketball team, and then the U14 hockey team for 2 years in a row. Unfortunately, 2 broken hands and a broken wrist got in his way. His spring sport for all 3 years was U14 softball. 2 people helped Matthew get through middle school. The first person was the best middle school director, grade 6 math teacher, and advisor anyone could ever have, Mr. Hansen. The student that helped Matthew the most is the flow master, Luca Zadra. And he says, "You were a real friend. Thanks, everyone."
In his first year at True Morris. In his first year at St. Andrews, True had a lot of fun. As a Mac House boarder, he has enjoyed many new learning experiences, such as doing laundry. I have to interject here because yesterday I was working with Philip and Luca on their speech, and True came in the room, and Luca said, "So what are you doing today?" And he said, "I'm doing laundry." And Luca looked at him and he said, "Like you're separating whites from darks?" And True looked at him and said, "Uh-huh." And he said, "Oh, okay." His other learning experience has been connecting with people from around the world. He was part of the piping intramurals squash, marksmanship, and Mac House Council programs. He has made many friendships along the way and hopes to develop into the ideal Andrian. True would like to thank his parents for letting him go to this great school and his grandparents for letting him stay over at their house for long weekends, and especially his grandfather for introducing the school to him in the first place. He is looking forward to upper school. Luis Munoz Saad. Luis is in Mr. Hansen's advisory and in class 803. Luis is a boarder at McDonald House. Lives at room 208 with his roommates Emilio Riestra and Yero Pasquera, and he had unforgettable memories with them. Luis is originally from Sinaloa, currently living in Mexico City. He plays the tenor saxophone and is a member of the middle school band. He achieved the Scholar's Pin. Luis was a member of the Under 14B soccer, Under 14 squash, and the Under 16 tennis team. He also got a gold medal in the cadet program for the fitness test. Luis really enjoyed this year at St. Andrews, and he is really thankful to his parents for giving him this opportunity. Callum Murphy. Callum has been attending St. Andrews College for 3 years. Some of his fondest memories include the Beyond the Gates trip, grade 6 Hanson shenanigans, the Under 14 CISA Championship soccer game, even though the weather was disgusting, and the Under 13 basketball trip to Winnipeg. The sports he has participated in so far have been soccer, basketball, track and field, and lacrosse. He has won 2 athletic awards, which are the Under 12 track and field MIP and the Under 14A soccer team MIP. He would like to thank all of the teachers who have led him through his years in the middle school and have been patient with him as he was developing his maturity. He would also like to thank his parents for letting him come to this great school. Lastly, he would like to thank Nick Boland for helping pull his shoes out of the 4-foot mud hole during Hanson shenanigans. Callum truly appreciates his time spent here and will miss the middle school a lot. John Musgrave. John Musgrave has been going to St. Andrews College for 3 years. He has played a variety of sports, including soccer, squash, lacrosse, tennis, and track and field. He was a member of the Green Team and an IT moderator. His favorite part of his grade 8 year was cadets every Thursday after school. Daniel Panzuris. Daniel has enjoyed his past 2 years at St. Andrews College. He enjoyed the academic and athletic challenges that the school presented, and he thinks of the middle school as a stepping stone to even more exciting and challenging opportunities in the upper school. He enjoys challenges, loves to laugh, and has made many new friends. Daniel looks forward to continuing to build friendships that will last a lifetime. Most importantly, Daniel would like to thank his parents for setting a great example of hard work, commitment, and dedication. Jeronimo Pesquera Gomez Tego. This year was Yero's first year at SAC. He played soccer, squash, and tennis. He was a boarder in McDonald House. He enjoyed his time during the weekend program activities. He liked Mac House activities and playing soccer in the Mac House Triangle. He received a Scholars Pin and MVP for under 14B soccer. He enjoyed his experience at St. Andrews College and would like to thank his parents for giving him this amazing opportunity. Luis Alberto Ramon Zadla. Luis is a McDonald House boarder in room 212 with roommate Inigo. He is a new student and has adapted well to Andrean life. He is part of the middle school band in which they won triple gold at the Music Fest. He was part of under 14 cross country, basketball, and tennis. In academics, he has improved his overall standing 10% since the beginning of the year. He earned the St. Andrews College merit tie in his second term. He has his fingers crossed as he hopes to get a scholar's pin in term 3. One of the things he loves the most is that at SAC you're always doing something. The school keeps him busy with so many academic, athletic, and boarding activities. He says that the experience he has had this year at St. Andrews is going to last a lifetime. Emilio Riestra Rivero. This was Emilio's first and only year at St. Andrews College and has had a very pleasant experience since the day he arrived. Emilio lived in Mac House with his roommates Yero and Luis, where he had numerous unforgettable moments. He earned Scholars Pin and the merit tie throughout the year. He was on the under 14A soccer team, where he and his team became CISA champs, and also part of the under 14 Alpine and throughout the year, he tried his best to get to know all of his classmates, who were always helpful and friendly, and he's very thankful for what they've done for him. He will always remember his teachers for their amazing help day by day through his rough days at the school. Emilio is sad about going back to Mexico because he will miss the moments spent at St. Andrews and the great friends he has made. He hopes this lifetime experience is not over, and he is looking forward to coming back someday. Nolan Roy. Nolan has had a great experience at St. Andrews this year. He was a 3-term athlete and is very grateful for his parents for sending him here. Nolan's second greatest experience was canoeing with his friend John Maloney at Beyond the Gates. But by far his best experience was going to Houston, Texas with his basketball team. Nolan would like to thank Mr. Hansen for making the trip possible. Guillermo Jose Rambat Gonzalez. Memo, aka Memo. Memo is a Mexican border student who lived in McDonald House in room 107 with roommate Johnny Yu. He is originally from Monterrey, Mexico, and has enjoyed his time here in Canada. Many different experiences and memorable moments happened with his friends and teachers. He is proud to have attended St. Andrews College in 2012-2013. Memo was a member of the cross-country, alpine ski, and softball teams. Some of his personal academic achievements were earning the Academic Merit Awards in terms 1 and 2. One of his favorite memories was our Beyond the Gates trip in September. Memo will remember attending St. Andrews, and he will look back favorably on his memories and experiences living in Aurora, Ontario, Canada.
Victor Alberto Saed Ramos. Victor enjoyed every single day at St. Andrews. He enjoyed playing new sports like alpine skiing and rugby, and he was part of the undefeated under 14 soccer championship team. Victor liked everything about boarding, the brotherhood, getting to know people from other countries, and the weekend programs. We would like to thank his teachers and his coaches for everything they have done for him and for the support they have given him. Victor will miss all of his friends and his Mac House brothers. We would like to thank them for the great experiences he shared with them. Cooper Scullion Spink. Cooper's enjoyed coming up through the middle school and immersing himself more and more into the Andrean community. He loved playing goalie on all 3 soccer teams and finally winning gold on the under 14 team. He was very proud when he achieved all of his academic goals throughout his 3 years in the middle school. Cooper cannot wait to go to the upper school. We would like to thank his parents for sending him here and his teachers for such a good year. To sum up, we would like to quote Biggie Smalls. Quote, "If you don't know, now you know." Nicholas Seidel. Nick's been going to St. Andrews since grade 6, and the sports he has played are soccer, basketball, squash, badminton, and lacrosse. His best memories have been the French exchange, Hansen's shenanigans, and the under 13 basketball trip to Winnipeg. He's a Montrose clan member and has played the bagpipes since grade 6. He'd like to thank Mr. Hansen for all the Chesterton chews and all the pizza parties. Charleston, sorry. He said he didn't like them. Nick would like to thank Stuart Little for moving everybody from my side of the room to the other side of the room at Beyond the Gates. Most joke. He would also like to thank his parents for letting him attend St. Andrews College. Finally, he'd like to say bye-bye to all his Mexican friends who will not be coming back next year. Tarun Sethi. Tarun's in his second year at St. Andrews and has been enjoying every second, minute, and hour of his experience. He loved being part of the different music bands like Honor, Jazz, and Middle School Band. Some of his favorite memories include going to Beyond the Gates, winning triple gold at Nationals for music, and winning a silver medal at CISAA for under-14 rugby. He does get frustrated with not one teacher being able to say or spell his name right, and he enjoys being the only British Andrian in the middle school. He wants to thank his amazing parents for sending him here to this amazing school, and also the amazing teachers for their incredible support. He's looking forward to 4 great years in the upper school. William Shields. SAC has been an unreal experience, one that William will never forget. The opportunity that he's experienced will stay with him for the rest of his time at the school. Middle school's taught William multiple things. That perseverance leads to success, and the one thing that he looks forward to continuing in upper school is drumming. William will never forget his time in middle school and is looking forward to start learning in upper school and finding more things that prove St. Andrews is not an ordinary place. Jose Alberto Simon Baz, otherwise known as Beto. Beto really enjoyed his year. He made many new friends and has great memories to share. He will never forget all of his teachers who helped him have a good time and supported him when he really needed help. Beto enjoyed the many cool trips like Beyond the Gates. It was a really good year. And he's very happy to say he's coming back next year. Take him on it. Will Sherman. Will loved his first year at St. Andrews. He's held over an 80% average the whole time. Participated in cadets on Thursday nights and drama on Tuesdays. He's made many friendships over the year with friends coming from several different countries. He loved playing soccer, hockey, and lacrosse. His most memorable moments were his trip to Beyond the Gates and up to Blue Mountain for a day of skiing. He's looking forward to upper school because it will open many more doors for him in the future. He wants to thank his parents for allowing him to come and all of his teachers and advisors who helped him through his first year at St. Andrews. Connor Sleeth. Connor enjoyed his 2 years at St. Andrews. His best memory was winning under-14 hockey MVP in grade 7. Connor enjoyed drama on Tuesdays and cadets on Thursdays. He also enjoyed all the Beyond the Gates trips. He's looking forward to the under-16 hockey team. Appreciates all the math help at open class from Mr. Lewis. Connor would like to thank his parents for letting him attend St. Andrews and to all of his teachers for their help. Brandon St. Pierre. Brandon's been at St. Andrews for 2 years. Highlights were Beyond the Gates trips, soccer tournaments, and mini putts and advisory. He had a blast trying to tip his own canoe with Eric on board and playing manhunt really late into the night. Enjoyed much of his time at Mac House as well. He's been in the Tuesday visual arts program for both years and enjoyed the creative outlet and getting dirty. His favorite subject was phys ed, and he'd like to thank his parents for sending him to this great school that has a very supportive environment. He liked to stay after school and play either games or soccer and have conversations at lunch and dinner. He has developed his power of persuasion, especially when trying to get a Pepsi ball from Mr. Hansen's Pepsi ball collection. One more lasting memory is the cadet parade and burning under the hot sun. Thank you very much. Tony Dongwu Sul. Tony has really enjoyed his grade 8 year, especially school events such as the McPherson Hockey Tournament and Spring Smash. He played soccer, alpine skiing, and badminton and is one of our middle school ambassadors. His most memorable moment was when he nailed True Morris in the stomach in gym class with a dodgeball and then fell to the ground laughing. Overall, this was a great year at SAC for Tony, and he looks forward to achieving more academically and in sports in grade 9. Tyler Thomas. Tyler has been at St. Andrews for 3 years and looks forward to meeting all the new teachers and experiencing the upper school next year. Some things he enjoyed were spending time with friends on sports teams, Beyond the Gates, and the debating program. Tyler wants to thank his parents for making a huge difference in his education by sending him here, and to all his teachers for their support during this time in middle school.
Patrick Turner. Patrick has enjoyed his years in the middle school. He has been on the soccer, basketball, and lacrosse teams. He has been a leader in his class by serving on the middle school council and has achieved scholars and merit awards since grade 6. His favorite part of his grade 8 year was when the under-14A soccer team went undefeated and won the CISA championship. Patrick would like to thank Mr. Hansen and his parents for their support. Mario Vasquez. Mario would like to start off by thanking his parents, his teachers, his advisor, his friends, his house captains, his MAC House duty masters, and everybody else that helped him finish yet another amazing year at St. Andrews College. Mario has been through a lot at SAC, from going on long distance trips, late night studying for tests to making new friends. Boarding has been an amazing experience for Mario. He enjoys the weekend programs and the activities after study that are always memorable. His highlight of the year was going to Houston and going undefeated in basketball and rugby. He would like to finish off by saying thank you to Scott Wood, Officer Gilbert, and Sergeant Miller. Mario looks forward to upper school cadets next year. Michael Von Schelberg. Michael had a great 3 years in the middle school. Starting in grade 6, he loved all the opportunities at the school: sports, leadership positions, arts, camaraderie, and even some of the schoolwork. He participated on the soccer, squash, and golf teams. He would like to thank his parents, teachers, and coaches that helped him throughout the years. He will miss the middle school, but he really looks forward to the upper school. Robert Wayne. Robert has been at St. Andrews College since grade 7. He enjoys the Tuesday Arts program and the athletics program. His best memory of the year is the Beyond the Gates trip and flipping the canoe. He would like to thank his parents for sending him to St. Andrews College. In September, Robert is going to move on to the upper school, and he will always remember the amazing 2 years he spent in the middle school. Connor Woodrow. Connor has been at St. Andrews since grade 6 and has enjoyed it very much. Some of his highlights include winning the cross-country run against his good old pal, Reagan, being a part of the undefeated under-14 soccer team, being part of the winless basketball team for 2 years in a row, being a successful athlete at track and field, and participating in the nationals tournaments for soccer and basketball. Connor will miss being the youngsters of the school, but he realizes it is time to take off the training wheels and move on from the little leagues. He would like to thank all of his teachers that have taught him to become a more educated and successful student, his coaches for helping him be competitive on the field, his friends for supporting him and making his middle school years enjoyable, and especially his parents for making the great decision to send him to this wonderful school and helping him develop into becoming a fine young man. Connor is looking forward to going to the upper school next year to explore a brand new part of his St. Andrews College experience. Joseph Yazdani. Joseph had a great year at St. Andrews, the best so far. He enjoyed many co-curriculars such as debating, badminton, and cadets. This year, he was the grade 8 speaker at the annual Carol Service concert. Unfortunately, Joseph wasn't able to participate in term 1 or 2 sports due to a broken leg sustained in an under-14 soccer game. He earned over an 80% average this year. While he did not have one single memorable moment in middle school, he still enjoyed the whole year in general. Joseph would like to thank his parents, teachers, friends, and Mr. Kyle. Johnny Yu. Johnny Yu is a new boarder in MAC House. He is from mysterious China, and he is not a sporty boy. He received the merit tie in the second term, and he is looking forward to getting a scholar's pin. It'll be a scholar's tie now in the upper school, Johnny. His favorite memories for this year are Beyond the Gates, being a member of the under-14 rugby team, and a member of middle school band. It is important to him that he has made a lot of friends here. He feels his most important academic achievement is his improved English. He enjoyed trying new things, and this is the first year he ever went skiing. It was terrific. He is especially grateful for the support and encouragement he got from Mr. Hansen, his advisor, and Miss Jocelyn, his ESL teacher. He is looking forward to returning in September to being part of upper school excitement. Luca Zabra. Luca, aka Flowmaster, has spent 3 years at St. Andrews College. In that time, he has been a 3-term athlete, a 3-term scholar, and a member of the anti-bullying committee, outreach, senior piping band, and middle school council. He has also been a captain of under-14 volleyball and softball. His favorite memories at St. Andrews are Beyond the Gates, under-14 softball, under-14 hockey, Thursday morning practices, and Hanson shenanigans. He would like to thank all of his teachers, especially his advisors over the years, Mrs. Berman, Mrs. D'Angelo, and Mr. Hansen, for setting him on the right path to being a well-rounded student. He would also like to thank his friends, including Matt Medhurst. Overall, Luca has enjoyed his 3 years at St. Andrews and can't wait to start a new year with his new teachers and new friends in the big, hard world of upper school. And that concludes our graduates.
Thank you, Mr. Kyle, Mr. D'Angelo. Thank you on behalf of the students, the faculty, and the Board of Governors for coming to our middle school prize day ceremony. I'd also like to thank Ms. Marie Polisi, Ms. Brenda Burston, the food services and the maintenance staff for their efforts and contributions to today's ceremony. My mother-in-law loves to watch the Weather Network, and I said, oh, you shouldn't worry about the weather. So we were hoping to have refreshments for you outside, but everybody's going to say it's going to rain. But anyway, we're going to be moving inside for the people who have been at the prize day before. I'd really love to see you join us for refreshments in the Staunton Gallery at the conclusion of the ceremony inside the gallery. Thank you so very much to all of you here today for making this last prize day for me very special. And in the boys that come before you, to all of you, thank you, St. Andrews College, for all you've done for me. All the best. Bye for now.